So there's a ton of drama going on right now with the Philadelphia Eagles, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, Brandon Graham having some quotes as well. So let's really break it down and figure out what is going on. So first things first, the Eagles won a close competitive game against the Carolina Panthers at home. Really, they probably should have lost that game if not for Xavier dropping that ball at the end of the game, but it is what it is. And, throughout that game, Jalen Hurts only had 83 passing yards against the Carolina Panthers. So, definitely a cause for concern. AJ Brown was only held to 4 targets, which was tied for his season low for the year, and he only had 43 yards for the day. And it was the third straight game where the Eagles were held under 200 passing yards. So this passing offense has not been clicking, even though the Eagles are on a 9-game winning streak right now. And that actually ties their franchise record for longest winning streak. So, I guess they could put a lot of that credit to Saquon Barkley, because you definitely can't put that on the passing game right now. It's been pretty brutal. And after the game, AJ Brown was asked, what do you think the team can improve on going forward? And he simply answered that question with passing. And then along with that, Brandon Graham, who's been on the team for a while, one of the leaders on the Eagles for a hot minute, he had this to say about Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, quote, "Things have changed with their friendship." And, that's just like throwing pure gasoline on a fire. It's one thing for the numbers to not lie, and then for AJ Brown to be clearly upset post game and during the game as well. He was wide open for a play, and his body language really showed that he was very, very upset during the course of that game. And for one of your leaders that have been on the team for so long, that everyone loves and respects, for him to just come out and say, yeah, essentially they're not friends anymore, they're not cool, that's just a huge, huge red flag. The Eagles have looked pretty good the past 5-8 games, honestly, and they're a second seed in the NFC right now, and I really thought they could maybe beat the Lions or maybe make it to the Super Bowl, maybe, just maybe. But having this kind of drama with only 3-4 weeks left in the regular season and just heading into the playoffs with all this noise and all this nonsense, it's just a major, major red flag, and it's going to be so detrimental to this team. You can't be a championship team when you have these types of problems internally. And just think about all the Patriots Super Bowls we've seen. Do you think anything like this ever leaked out at the tail end of the year? Do you think a well-coached team with good leaders, good leadership, ever had stuff like this leak out with only 4 weeks left to go in the regular season? It's one thing for this to happen in September or October. There's still a lot of time to turn it around, to really address things, but man, like, it's almost showtime. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like they're kind of like a sinking ship right now. I don't know how they're going to turn around. I know, sure, they have a huge game this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hypothetically, winning does cure everything, and if Jalen Hurts goes off and AJ Brown scores 3 touchdowns, sure, it'll be all sunshine and rainbows. But I don't know, man. Like, the fact that Brandon Graham said that things have changed in their relationship, that's from a guy that's with them every day. That's a guy that sees them practice every day. That's a guy that they probably talk to every day, every other day. So, I don't know, man. That's just really, really bad news if you're an Eagles fan. But you guys, let me know in the comments below. Do you think this team could realistically go on a deep playoff run with this kind of drama heading into the playoffs? Or do you think, all can be erased with just one game of Jalen Hurts going off, AJ Brown going off? You let me know in the comments below. I'm curious what you think. And that's really another issue I have with the Philadelphia Eagles and why I didn't really take them seriously the first part and a half of the season. If Nick Sirianni was really a leader of men, if he really was a good head coach, this stuff would not fly. Do you think Bill Belichick let this stuff fly? Do you think Andy Reid lets this stuff fly? Good leaders, good coaches, they don't have this sort of crap in their locker room. It's just kind of like a circus over there with Sirianni being the head clown. And, granted, like I said, they're the second seed in the NFC, but I really don't think Sirianni's a good head coach. If the Eagles had some other guy in there, imagine if the Philadelphia Eagles had Jim Harbaugh. That'd be crazy, man. That'd be scary. Like a tough nose organization with a gritty head coach that has had success everywhere he goes, you know, with the season Saquon Barkley has had, man, that would be a legitimate Super Bowl contender right there. But, it kind of is what it is. And, it's kind of a blessing and a curse for this season for the Eagles because I really feel like if the Eagles had a mediocre year, Nick Sirianni would be gone, and I really think that's the best interest long term for the Philadelphia Eagles. But then again, you know, if the Eagles choke in the first round of the playoffs, like hypothetically, if they're the second seed and they lose at home against the Commanders, I think that's definitely grounds to firing Nick Sirianni for sure. 2 straight years in the playoffs, one and done, when you really should have won both of those games. So we'll see how this all plays out, man. And, you know, that's another thing, too. This whole issue, all this drama. Jalen Hurts, he's had one really good year, and he got paid just like a madman. That contract is really, really good. But I really don't think he will ever be a top tier quarterback in this league. He kind of reminds me of Brock Purdy a little bit, just like a game manager. And, if he could do that every day, every game, make some plays with his legs, the tush push, make some critical throws, fair play. I feel like he could definitely be around the league and be a starting QB for a while. But if you really ask him to do too much, I really think that's where all the issues will come in. And, because Saquon Barkley has been there with the Eagles this year, he hasn't really been asked to do that much. But I'm telling you, man, if Saquon wasn't on the Eagles right now, I don't think this team would be any good. He really just shifted the tone of that team and that franchise. And, man, what a mistake the Giants did this past offseason. It's just kind of crazy. But you let me know in the comments below. Do you think this is going to sink their season? Do you think Jalen Hurts is a good QB or a game manager? And what do you think about Nick Sirianni? Let me know in the comments below. If you made this far, please subscribe and help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
They give up the short completion. They come up and make the tackle. Now we have a fourth down.
Woodhead's just going to wave his arm here and make the fair catch. The Chargers bring their offense back on the field, and their Achilles heel today has been their inability to finish off these drives. Several times they've advanced deep, only having to settle for field goals.
Well, yes, they have advanced to football, Jim, but let's give the defense some credit. That's what they're known for. The bend but don't break. And they get down there near the goal line. They know how to rally up. They know what the offense is going to do, and that's good enough to stop them and make them kick field goals.
Coming up, second down. The Broncos with 2 extra defensive backs in the dime. Phillip Rivers from the shotgun. And the football ends in the hands of Bo. That's his first reception today.
Well, they complete the pass, Jim, but doesn't get the first down. Sooner or later, you got to throw one down the field.
It'll be third down. It's a 2 tight end formation.
Good job that time moving the chains, picking up that first down. And, Jim, of course, there's no time to panic in a situation like this. I think they know that. It's in the second half. You're down just a few points. Just keep looking for ways to get another first down, and that'll serve your team well.
That's a gain of 7.